Hello and welcome to This is Private Practice. I'm privileged again to be able to guest speak for Jo today as she is getting some much needed rest. So thank you again, Jo, for having me. So my name is Frances J. Harvey, and I am the founder and owner of My Solution Services, Inc. We're an online business management for practice management for therapists. We specialize just in working with therapists. I've been in mental health for about 14 years. But I'm not going to talk about me today. I'm going to talk about you. And the question that I get to talk about that Jo has given me to ask is, I'm going to read this to you and then we're going to talk about it, okay? So that is, it's been said that mental health professionals are cheap. They don't like to spend money. Do you agree with this statement? And if so, why or why not? And do you think there's a more useful way for rephrasing it? Okay, so let's start kind of like on the back end. My rephrase on this would let's say that you're reserved. Okay, cheap is kind of a hardcore word, but it's actually we got to call it what it is, right? If you're going to be cheap, you're going to get cheap. I don't like the word cheap. Anyway, okay, so let's call it reserve, but I may say cheap throughout the book. Okay, and do I agree with it? 100% yes. So I've worked with mental health clients for about 14 years now. And one thing I know is that therapists have money issues. Sorry, guys, it's just truth. And there's many reasons for it. And I'm not here to dive into the reasons of why, but what I want to bring to you is hopefully some tips that will help you to really move past some of this. So the three things that I want to bring out is that can help you to get past this problem, which in all actuality is stunting your growth in your practice, and you're not going to get anywhere if you don't get past it. Okay, so those three things are, and I'm going to read those off as information. You need to know about what you're going to spend money on. Okay, and I'm not just saying, oh, I need this. I'm talking about we need to know it. Number two is going to be, we're going to talk about your support system, your tribe. And then number three, we're going to talk about action and implementing. Excuse me. So number one, information. All right, so real quickly, I am getting ready to build out a call center, and it's scary because we're going to drop some big G's in this. I'm talking big G's. And it's a little nerve-wracking, but I also know that if I don't do this, that I'm stuck where I am and I will grow no more. And that's not what I want to do, because my desire is to help more people, and I can't help more people if I don't grow. So what I needed to do though, before going, and dropping all these G's and signing on the dotted line to the contractor, is to get information, to find out what it is that I need, what it's going to cost, what are all the materials, what is it going to look like, how many do we need, is this possible, is that possible, is there something I'm missing, I'm forgetting, do I have to use a certain type of material, on and on and on. Okay, so my partner and husband is doing all the research for this. We're now in the stages of sending the plans to the city for approval for permit. So all of those steps need to happen, okay? He drew out the plans. I'm so sorry, I was just interrupted by my phone. Okay, so all of those things need to happen in order for us to make a sound decision on the best way to do this, the best contractor, the best materials, whatever it is we need. We can't just, like I said, throw a checkbook out there and go, here you go, and so you need to do your homework. You need to get information about what you're spending. So for instance, if you're going to outsource, let's say your phones and scheduling, And your phones are the lifeline to your practice. That's what brings your revenue in. So if you just go, hey, I want to hire any Joe Blow off the street because they're going to charge me $10 an hour, guess what? You're going to get what you pay for. But if you literally go, I need somebody in my practice to be able to do this in a way that they know how to not only speak to people that are calling for mental health services, but also that they can make the conversion. Okay, that's going to take somebody special that knows your world. So you need to do your homework and you need to find that person and you need to be able to make sure that it's the right fit. Do your homework. Number two, real quickly, is your support system or your tribes. Oh, here's tickling me. All right, sorry. Your support system, okay, your tribe. I have built an incredible tribe around me. I have, well, first of all, at home, my husband, who is just, you know, my biggest cheerleader. He's also my business partner. My office project manager. I'd be on the floor without her. My team that I have, um, my own business coach, and many of you know that is the very one and only Joe Muirhead. And I've been working with Joe for 4 years, and I couldn't get where I was without that support. I have my own therapist that I work through. And yes, I take my fears. Oh my God, I'm getting ready to spend $25,000, $35,000 on a call center. Are you kidding me? That's scary. Okay, so your support system is really critical in order for you to make sure that um, they help you to make those good decisions. They help you not to make stupid decisions about just bringing anybody in because it's cheap. Okay, I hate looking at these Facebook posts. Sorry, guys, but I do. I hate looking at them in the groups when they're like, "Hey, I'm in the on the path to look for somebody for either a VA or for support or a logo or this or that or a website, and I don't want to pay very much, or I want it to be free, or can I pay $15 an hour?" Well, sure, but you're gonna get what you pay for. Okay, um, it just stop it. Stop it. Okay. If you do cheap, you will get cheap. You will get burnt. I can't tell you how many times I've done consultations where that person's come to me and said, I have had the worst experience because I went with them because they were cheaper, or they didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't, follow through on their promise, or whatever it is. So if you do those kind of things, you got to keep in mind you're going to get what you pay for. You may hear me say that one more time. All right, number three, because I'm almost out of time. Number three is action, implementation. So you have your information, you've done all your research, you got your support team, you're working with them, you've talked with them, you've talked with your, uh, therapist so you can get all your bugs and your fears out, maybe a couple glasses of wine or two to bring you down from hyperventilating and when you're getting ready to spend some money. And you've got all those ducks in a row. And now you're sitting there and you're not pulling the trigger. Okay. If you don't implement, you will not grow. You have to implement, guys. You've got to pull the trigger. So I know it's scary. So the other day we get a couple quotes back in the mail for the call center that we're building out, right? And I said something about some line items, and my husband looked at me and says, "Do you want to do this or not?" And I just kind of went, "Whoa," and I'm like, "Yes." And I just had to say it that fast because I could have talked myself out of pulling the trigger very easily. So what I can tell you is not every single thing will be perfect. During that build out for the call center, we'll probably run into some walls. We'll probably have to jump some hurdles. There's probably going to have to be some decisions that'll be made that we didn't think about or we have to do differently. But if we don't pull the trigger and let the light be green, we're not going to get anywhere and we're not going to grow. Okay. So growth, Getting where you want in your practice equals getting your information, getting your support system and your tribe in order, and taking action and implementing. And those will equal growth. You got to just do it, as Nike says. All right, guys, I'm going to quit talking. Thanks again, Joe. And this is private practice.